Hey, everybody. Welcome on TikTok. How are you tonight? Hey, everybody on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. If you guys could go ahead and give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear me and see me all right on all platforms. That would be really helpful before we go ahead and get into tonight's show. All right, very good. I see some comments coming in here on TikTok. We are rolling. Just waiting to hear back here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. All right, you guys give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. So this is the launch of our brand new show. I am here with Christina Del Rey, our astrologer. How are you, Christina?
Awesome. So glad to be here. Very excited.
I'm excited too. Christina and I have been talking about doing the show for at least a decade. And we flirt with it, once or twice a year. And finally, Spirit was just like, you need to do this now. So for whatever time, for whatever reasons, I assume that everyone has something going on that's pretty intense with your relationships. And this show is called Get a Grip on your love life and relationships, because this isn't just about romance. So we're taking all kinds of relationship questions. Now, here's how this is going to work. You are going up under my profile pic. You can click the Venmo account there. You can also see in the description above or below, depending on where you're tuning in, my Venmo link. You're going to go ahead and you are going to purchase a question for yourself. You are either doing the $5 short answer, or you could do the $10 longer version answer. Then you are going to go back wherever you paid. If you were in Venmo, if you were in YouTube and paid, because you can more easily do that through YouTube as well, you are going to post your question there. Now, if you guys are tuning in through another platform, you're going to have to go to Venmo, which is in the description or under my profile pic. Or you could switch over here to YouTube. I'm always looking for more followers here. So go to YouTube at Ask Ivy. And again, you could pay right on YouTube and post your question there. Now, your question needs to be 25 words or less. You should include the name of the person you're asking about. If you're uncomfortable with that, you could just make up a pseudonym. That's fine. And you should include the sun sign for yourself and for this other person if you know what it is. Any other zodiac information if you know what it is. But again, you don't have to. Christina's going to work with it if you don't have that info. So we have a few questions already coming in here. While we let people tune in and start purchasing your spot and posting, I do want to make a couple quick announcements. I no longer require that we have an actual phone reading. If you want to get a reading with me, I have defied all of the time zone issues officially once and for all after 13 years. I was having a lot of trouble working out time zones with India and, different parts of Asia. And now you guys can just book a reading by purchasing a video download. That's it. I record it. I get it to you. And we don't ever have to meet up at all. Okay. So that's amazing. And I'm really happy with this product and how it's going. So you can go onto my website to do that reading anytime. I just send it directly to you. A lot of people say, well, don't you have to see the person or touch the person or talk with the person? I don't. Some readers do. So that's not a problem for us. Also, I'm running holiday packages. Okay, they're back this year. I'm running holiday packages, 4 different kinds, ranging from $25 to $200 for the holidays. The deal expires on January 1st, so go ahead, check out on the website. Those questions, I'm looking at questions, I'm saying questions, but the packages now, again, that's Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. That's above or below in the description box, depending on where you guys are tuning in. Psychic Mediumship Course raffle is currently running. If you are having financial difficulties, as are most of us in the recession, you may want to enter into the raffle to get your seat for the Psychic Mediumship Course, $2,100 value. It's 100% free if you win the raffle. Psychic Mediumship Course for the winter semester begins January 23rd, and we'll be drawing the raffle on the 22nd. So I hope to see you for training. We also have our next Roots Revival Interfaith Church service with Christina Del Rey and I going on the 15th of January, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, back here on these platforms. We will be talking about part 1, Pluto in Aquarius, the revolution, how it's affecting your life, what you need to do to maximize your growth and prosperity. Christine and I are also doing our annual show, What to Expect in 2023, breaking down each zodiac sign. That's going to be on December 29th. Okay, so this is Sunday, and that's also 8:30 p.m. Eastern back here on all of these platforms. So you guys can check out what's coming up for you in 2023. If you want to book a chart with Christina, her information is here on YouTube under her image, and it also has her email address there, so you could check that out if you want to book a reading with me. Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. I would highly encourage everyone to switch over to YouTube at this time at Ask Ivy if you are able to do so. It's going to be easier for this particular show. All right, and we have the next Get a Grip Love show. Okay, the second version of what we're doing here tonight is going to be Sunday, January 8th. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I do want to announce an Edgar Velardes. If you are tuning in, we saw that your payment came in, but we did not get a question from you. So you need to go ahead and do that now. All right. All right, so welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak. This is Get a Grip on Your Love Life and Relationships, episode number 1. And I am here with Christina Del Rey, our astrologer. I will be answering from a psychic mediumship perspective. She will be answering as an astrologer and tarot card reader. And so you guys, again, if you're tuning in a little bit late, you are going to go on to Venmo, my Venmo, which is above or below in the description. It's also right under my profile. When you purchase either a $5 short version of a reading or a $10 longer version of this reading, you're going to submit your question there. You are going to include the name or a pseudonym of whoever you're referring to, the sun sign, if you have it, or any zodiac information, and your question in 25 words or less. If you are doing this on YouTube, here at Ask Ivy, same idea. Submit that information where you make your payment. I just want to clarify, this is not just about love. This can be about a difficult friendship or a question you have about maybe a past life connection to somebody else, family, any kind of relationship, although we do assume this will be love heavy. All right, let's go ahead. Christina, you ready to get into it?
I'm ready. I have multiple decks. I have my astrology, where the planets are, and I have my dice. I'm ready.
Yay. The dice are so fun. I love that
They are
too.
fun.
All right. Very cool. All right. So what is the first question? What do we have here today? All right. So we have from a Shauna asked a $10 question. I have a Scorpio male in my life with an intense connection since we met. My stomach spins when he is near me, and if we lock eyes, it's like I'm absorbed into him. I'm a Taurus. Do you have any insight? Okay, insight into Shauna's Scorpio, and she got the $10 version. The first thing that I'm getting is a soulmate connection and a contract, which involves cords. So when we have cords like this, we can feel very overwhelmed by the other person's energy, or almost like they are able to suck us in to their energy. I feel that he's doing this involuntarily, which I like. So he's not fully aware of his ability to do this with you. However, I do feel that you are also very drawn to him. So you may be voluntarily and involuntarily pulling him to you. Now, when you have cords like this, you guys aren't only going to pull and tug at each other's emotions, energy, thoughts, telepathically during the day when you're awake. You're also going to do it at night. So you may start to notice patterns where he's showing up in your dreams, where his name is coming up in different circles and you're not sure why, where there are a lot of signs and symbols around you out in the universe, sort of bringing you back around to thoughts of him or reconnecting the energy. You need to start asking, what is the point? What are the lessons here? What are we meant to do together? In this particular situation, I do also feel that you two are supposed to build. So when we're talking about a soulmate contract, we are talking about a work contract. I know it sounds very romantic to hear soulmate contract, and it can be, and that's wonderful if that aspect can work out. And in this situation, I think it could, but ultimately what we're talking about here is work together. And that's always more important. Now, I always say that in a soulmate contract, the work trumps the romance. We have to make sure that we fulfill whatever is in this contract the best that we can. And while romance may be tricky, the two of you, at the very least, are able to bounce ideas off of each other. The banter here is good. The verbal communication and nonverbal communication is really on point. He sometimes has a tendency to be reserved or pull away or be detached. I feel like when he does that, you have a tendency to just let him do it, not necessarily chase after him. But you seem to also know what to say or how to say it to pull him back out from that detachment and to re-engage. And so there's a very natural flow going on here. I think that the building aspect of this relationship is colorful, in that it may involve a lot of ideas that you have about business and work and fulfilling your life contract, purpose in the universe, and things like this. So there's depth. There's also spiritual depth. I would also say that him as a Scorpio, they tend to do that without even trying to just sort of, even like sexually, just sort of pull you in. A lot of that could just be Scorpio energy. So do be reasonable about how you pursue this, understanding that some of that is just his natural Scorpio charm, and some of this is legitimately the contract that the two of you had to have together. Christina?
Sorry. So, Shauna, I pulled, this is like amazing, the 7th house. And this has to do with romantic partnerships. So, actually wonderful, like a soulmate connection type. There are a couple things going on in the sky that also backs this up. Uranus is in Taurus right now, so surprise meetings, things like that, are definitely possible. But more so is that Pluto is definitely going to move into your 10th house, changing your status a bit. So a little transformation maybe in, your single status or whatever you have right now. But Jupiter is also going to go into Taurus as well. So that, I think 2023 is going to be amazing for you. I also pulled Jupiter and the Sun. Now, I only meant to pull one card, but 2 came out. So Jupiter and the Sun. Well, Jupiter is a very airy planet. It's the biggest planet we have. And the Sun, obviously, is the center of the Earth. What I'm thinking with these, the things that I'm getting with these is that you guys can sort of mesh together, but you don't want to, you want to make sure you keep your identity separate. So just be very careful because Scorpios can kind of pull you in. But, you know, as a rule, Scorpio and Taurus, you know, that's a decent match. It's just, you don't want to lose who you are because I think you're probably still figuring out who you are. And you don't want somebody to come along and be, you know, part of your identity. You want to make sure that you keep it separate, that you know, one doesn't swallow the other, if that makes sense. I did get a Taurus card as well, and that represents you. I think it's really more about you staying grounded, not getting too, you know, like have your moments where you are kind of, you know, together. I think there's definite possibility, but you're going to have to definitely make it a point to be separate as well, to keep your energy and boundaries appropriate. Because I know I have that issue too. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull real quick a love card for you. So it says, deep in your heart, you already know what the answer is. Do what feels right. So I think that you're definitely drawn to this person and that there is a soulmate lesson to be learned, and that, you know, I wish you the best on that one.
Awesome. All right. Very cool. I like that we're getting the same thing on this too. Not getting too sucked in, holding your boundaries, but knowing that there's great value there. So always interesting when a soulmate comes around. It is undeniable. Okay, very cool. We are going to get into the next question here. I do want you guys that are tuning in late, if you could please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. If you're tuning in from one of the other platforms, you may want to switch over to YouTube at Ask Ivy at this time. It's easier to go ahead and make your payment, post your question. You can also go to my Venmo, which is listed above or below in the description. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We have Tony asked a $10 question. I am an Aquarius asking Spirit about the outcome of the current situation I am involved with Gerald, who is a Cancer, and if there is a love relationship beyond this in my close future. Okay, so Tony wants to know about Gerald and a potential other. All right, so let's see what I'm getting with this. You know, when I go over here with his energy, he feels unavailable. He feels walled off. He feels detached. He feels like couch guy. And couch guy is, you know, always kind of person who wants to just sort of make everything come to them. They think everything will come to them. And maybe in the past it did. But I don't think that this is something you're willing to do. So this is the equivalent of someone who thinks that people should be chasing them or that they're entitled to your time, attention, affection, and energy. And it just isn't a game that you plan to engage in any longer. I think that we're talking about your higher mind having made that decision already. The rest of you may still be catching up a little bit, but I don't think that it would be unexpected in any way for this relationship to dissipate. What I do feel coming in for you is someone with a higher vibration who's very interested in what you're doing in your life. I feel that possibly when you deal with Gerald, if you were to say, I am doing this thing today, he would not ask, oh, really? What's that about? Or how does that make you feel? Or, you know, even act like he heard you at all. You know, there's in active listening. You know, they say that it's important to use body language. It's important to relay back to the other person that you heard them, to somehow give acknowledgement that you're paying some attention or have some interest, even if you're faking it. And it is to make the other person feel as though they're valued in the communication. And I just feel that lacking here. What I see with this next person is that you're able to be engaging and reach a level of intimacy that you haven't had, maybe ever even, because you do have a pattern of attracting the same type of couch guy. This person not only asks you all the right questions and pulls information out of you, but excites you and raises your energy level And it isn't artificial. It's extremely authentic because you do have a meeting of the minds. And I think that what's important for you going forward is to keep your mind set on what it is that you want to have. Forget about what you don't want to have. What do you want to have? You're going to be manifesting this soon, within the year, I think. Christina?
Yeah, you're really not gonna believe what I pulled. So the first one I pulled was the Hermit, whereas like the person is kind of quiet, going within, maybe not telling you the whole story, this person who's a Cancer. And then you said couch guy. Look, if this is not couch guy, can you see that?
Oh my God, it is.
I don't know
guy.
what is. Like, I mean, how is that even possible? Like, seriously. Like, this is like the guy who has the opportunity coming, and yet, like, he's like, I don't know, maybe there's something better. I don't know what I want. That was so crazy to me. And then the next two I got were really just negative energy, to be honest. Like, not going for what it, not knowing what to do. Maybe he's just stuck, but like, even like the reversed Wheel of Fortune, the reversed Knight of Pentacles, just not utilizing the energy, maybe not knowing how to use it, just being stuck is basically what I get in that situation. I do feel like there's a better situation for you. I'm gonna roll the dice here. So is there a future person, like who's coming in for Tony? Okay, so I have Virgo here. I have strong Virgo energy. So perhaps, and you may meet this person through a female friend. This might be somebody at work, because we have sixth house energy here going too. But it's going to be somebody who is more compatible with you and more of a just more of a, not a couch potato, like more of a, what do we call it? Go-getter, I guess it would be. Let's just pull a couple of the love cards as well. But, Aquarius, I should tell you, you are undergoing massive amounts of changes right now. In this situation with this person, if there's any legal involvement or anything like that, you want to always follow the rules, because Saturn is in your sign right now. So you have to be completely and totally honest in order to reap the karma. Okay, so what I'm getting right now for the love cards, it is important right now to take a step back, spend some time alone instead of placing your focus on another. And now it's time to give to take time for yourself. And I think what this is it's saying acceptance is the key to inner peace. I think that taking just a small break and then looking around you in the areas that you are every day. There might be somebody there that has their eye on you. You're not sure. There might be a female coworker that might be able to introduce you, but it does feel like the person's coming in and they're the opposite of couch guy. They're completely different.
Amen to that. And after you've been with couch guy, you really need the polar opposite. I mean, not even in the ballpark, no resemblance at all. When you're done with couch guy, you're done with couch guy. All right, I love this. I know you can't make it up out of all the cards you could pull, right? So that's spirit right there. All right, so another quick announcement before we move on to the next question here. For you guys tuning in, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe. If you're tuning in through TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you may want to switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy. It's easier to make your payment here on YouTube and post your question. You guys can also do this through Venmo. So the Venmo link is above or below in the description box, depending on where you're tuning in, or right under my bio. And you're going to post your question there in Venmo. $5 gets you a short answer. $10 gets you a longer version. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. We have from Andrea, $10 question. She says, I'm an Aries. I'm wondering about my current relationship or situationship with Victor, who's a Capricorn. What guiding advice do you have for me as to the direction it is going or should go? Okay. Andrea and Victor. Here's the thing with Victor. I feel that he's very controlling. And I think that he's coming more from a place of ego, which is fear, manipulation, and control. When someone's coming in life in general, as he is, more from a place of ego than he is from like knowing oneself, his higher mind, connectivity to the universe. You know what I mean? It ends up being a lot of games. It ends up being a lot of baggage, and it ends up being a lot of baggage that you get stuck carrying. And it's because he's putting that on you. Now, I'm not saying that he's doing it intentionally all the time, but certainly Victor's been confronted many times over the course of his life by the universe to move up to a higher vibration, okay? To take the high road, to grow, to develop, to learn lessons. And because he refuses to do the work on himself repeatedly, it is now radiating out to the way he interacts with others, the world, his relationships, especially in love. He may also have a bit of a tendency to point the finger, create blame for you or others and circumstances around him that don't fit what he wants or stroke his ego in the way that he wants. And it may confuse the heck out of you. You may not be sure where you stand with this person at all, and that's deliberate. So while he does things unintentionally, sometimes this is intentional. The idea of keeping you in the dark or in the gray and not feeling valued, not knowing that there is any potential growth or direction this relationship, will be going in. So my feeling here is that if you are looking for something more serious in your life, you are going to want to pull out of this, and you're going to want to use him as an example of how to never get deeply embedded or to get into bed with potential. Christina?
Yeah, so what I'm getting, I pulled 3 cards. I pulled Pisces. So I'm thinking like lack of boundaries here. Like maybe you're not putting with the controlling that Ivy was speaking of, lack of boundaries. It maybe has gotten a little bit out of control, might have been really good in the beginning, but it does seem like there are some issues now. I keep getting 8th house. So there might be some deep psychological issues going on there with him. Also, I think next year he's going to have a change in his income. There's going to be like some kind of big change there, I think. And Andrea, you're an Aries. So, Jupiter is going to go into your first house, which is going to be kind of lucky for you. And you might be more visible and attract other partners as well. So I would keep my options open. I'm going to pull some dice. And let's see. What messages do we have for Andrea? Okay, so we have Venus, 11th house, and Aries. Okay, so, I really do feel like when that Jupiter comes in and Jupiter goes into Aries, let's see. So it's going to be in the beginning of the year. I think it's actually the end of this year and the beginning of next year, all the way till May. And I think that is going to make you very attractive to the opposite sex. And I think maybe through friendship and groups and where you hang out. I mean, if you are not in this relationship, you're probably, if you decide to end this relationship, you're probably going to meet somebody else that seems a little bit more compatible for you. And let's pull a love card just to see. Okay, so I have Only Time Will Tell and Manifesting Miracles. Interesting because when Jupiter goes into that first house, it's almost like Jupiter can be a miracle energy. So it's almost like, it comes in and all of a sudden you're visible and big things can happen for you. So Only Time Will Tell.
Okay. I love that. I just want to add to this that I get this really strong feeling that you are going through a karmic cycle. We could say approaching the end of a karmic chapter, and that everything in your life may feel as though it's at a bit of a pivotal point, like skeletons in the closet, unfinished business, stuff swept under the carpet, things put up on a shelf collecting dust. Like everything may be coming to a head right now. And sometimes when we're going through that cycle, we have somebody like this in our life who is really showcasing for us what's missing, what we actually want, and pushing us beyond our comfort zone. So I feel that this person showed up in your life to help you to move beyond some of the cycles that you've been stuck in with love and relationships for several lifetimes, and breaking generational curses within your family or the programming you've had from society. Okay. So you're really ending quite a lot here. This is a much bigger idea than what it may seem. All right. Love it. Love it. I want to announce before we go on to the next question here that if you guys are tuning in late, this is Get a Grip on Your Love, Life, and Relationships. Any kind of relationship questions, go. You are going to make a $5 payment for the short answer or a $10 payment for the long version on Venmo, right up above my profile, or it's in the description above or below, or here on YouTube at Ask Ivy. So if you're tuning in from somewhere else, you can shift over to YouTube at Ask Ivy and do it right here in the YouTube comment section. We do want names or pseudonyms of whoever you're referring to, a sun sign, or any zodiac information if you have it, and keep your question at 25 words or less. All right, let's move on. The next question we have is from an Edgar. Edgar did the, $10 question. He says, my rising sign is Sagittarius, sun sign is Pisces, and moon sign is Aquarius. What is my love prediction for 2023? All right, let me see what I'm getting with that. I feel like you may spend a period of time alone in the first 3 months of the year. You may be feeling as though you're hibernating a little bit. I see a bear, quite literally. Now, a bear represents maternal energy. It can represent caretaking over yourself. In this case, I feel like your heart and your health, meaning also your mental and emotional health, your spiritual and energetic health. So there's a lot of introspection going on. A bear is also just kind of a lazy animal, during those months, is how this looks to me. So you may not feel like being very active in getting yourself out there. Sometimes we get ourselves out there on dating sites or whatever, but we're kind of half-assing it. We're not really asking questions and trying to engage the right people. It's just sort of sloppy. I think it would be best for you to not bother at all if you're not going to really bring your A game, because if it's time for you to just be alone, then that's just what it's time for. And after that, you'll be coming out of your cocoon a bit more. They show you like a butterfly spreading your wings. I am getting this from your relationship guide. I do feel that there's someone important for you to be talking to around June, July, and possibly even into like the second week of August. 2023, it seems like you're going to really be engaging with someone in a very serious way, where it's like the, good morning text, good night text. You kind of have, I'm not saying you have them on a leash, or they have you on a leash, but there's a turning point when someone's sort of keeping tabs on you a little bit and you're keeping tabs on them. I feel it well into that phase. I'm not sure that you guys are necessarily committing or verbally committing, but it sort of happens accidentally, okay? Which is sometimes the best process of all, the most natural process of all. So ultimately, you're going to be able to talk openly and freely with this person because there is a nice level of intimacy and exchange emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. And I think that you guys would have a lot of conversation about where else you want to be, what you want to build in your future. I even see talk of cohabitation potentially. Christina?
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, for Pisces, so Saturn's going to move into Pisces in March. So that could it could do one of two things. That could make you commit to somebody, or that could make you kind of stall out. But but I do feel like once Saturn is in there, you know what I mean, and then it's in there for a while, I feel like you will commit to somebody, but it's kind of down the road. Similar to what Ivy was saying, you know, it's going to be a little bit further down. Now, this past card shows me that, you know, maybe you were content before in a relationship, or maybe you were single and content. Kind of looks like he's single and content there. And maybe, you know, some healing is going on, or maybe some healing went on. Those knives came out of the heart. But here, the future cards kind of show you sort of stuck a bit, like you just don't know what action to take, or any actions you do take are like, kind of don't really go anywhere. You know, and the Hangman is kind of, this was, you know, reversed as well. So, you know, just needing to get out of your comfort zone, needing to go to new places, and, you know, just needing to see things in a different way. But typically, you know, that Hangman, he's kind of stuck until he sees it in a different light. This guy here is telling me that, you know, you kind of have to manifest and wait for your ship to come in. You know, this guy's kind of waiting for, you know, the universe to bring him what he needs, but it's going to be on the universe's time, not, not your time, unfortunately. But, you know, that does feel like there's a partner coming in, somebody who is kind of, you know, sensitive and maybe even like motherly-ish, I want to say. And perhaps they come in and they pay attention to the details, and they do, you know, they do sort of compliment who you are. So I don't know if this is a person of the same status, same job, same, I don't know, but like this sort of compliments, maybe kind of makes you look good too, good on your arm or whatever. But it does feel like to me that, you know, that the person is coming, but it's kind of down further on. And then I feel like you might commit to them, but later, maybe toward the end of next year. We said Pisces, right? Yeah. And I don't know how long I talked. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I was going to say we should probably wrap that one up. However, you know, I'm getting the same thing. And so just because you meet the person around the time, like I'm talking about, doesn't mean that's when you agree to fully commit. You know, dialogue about it doesn't mean it has to happen right then. And if it doesn't happen right then, don't try to force it. Let it play out as it's supposed to. I think
wait until after September, because Venus will go direct September 3rd. So then you can start talking about those things, but don't do anything until then. That's my advice.
Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, a year of flow, slow flow. Let it go where it needs to go. Don't force anything. Love it. Okay. I just want to say thank you to everyone who did switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy from the other platforms. I certainly do appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you guys are tuning in through the other platforms, you can go ahead and purchase your question now. For those of you who bought, but for whatever reasons you didn't post your question, Christina and I will eventually need to go to bed tonight. And so we're going to, you know, answer your question next time. But be mindful that if you paid, you do have to post your question. We are psychic, but we're not supposed to be that psychic tonight. Okay, so we are going to move on here to Tamara Schlock, who asked a $10 version, but she gave a $10 tip as well. Thank you so much, Tamara. So Tamara said that she is Capricorn. She is not in a relationship. Is anyone coming toward me? All right, let me look at that. The first thing that I'm getting with you is being very directive. If you have had a tendency in the past to feel as though you're outspoken, You're sort of an open book, not necessarily that you wear your heart on your sleeve, but that you're very transparent and open and honest in relationships. It's a very nice sort of, soft but assertive energy at the same time. I feel like you may be changing that up a little bit. I feel like you may be a little bit more. I hate this term, but I can't, nothing else is coming into my head. I keep hearing she wears the pants. Okay. I hate this so much. Pretend I didn't say it, but it's almost like if you are the more dominant one in the relationship, right, there's always an alpha. There's always someone who's a little bit more aggressive, assertive, sort of calls the shots, directs the relationship. If this is not a role you're used to being in, you may be toying with this quite a bit. I want to say for the next 3 years, really. But if we're talking about the near future, I want to say the next 6 to 7 months, it's going to be really important for you to go ahead and reach out. For you, there's a dating site called Bumble. I'm sure everyone's heard of it. I'm probably the last one under the rock to not know that it existed, but I got it fairly recently, and Bumble forces the girl to reach out to the guy. All right. So it's that type of energy where like you have the upper hand in that you choose how that dialogue is going to go, when that dialogue is going to go, with who that dialogue is going to go. And I like this for you. You're supposed to be learning some lessons in being more of the conductor in your love life and less like picking up the crumbs that are dropped, or just being passive in whoever and whatever comes your way. It puts you in a position to, it's less likely that you would be manipulated in any way. So we're attracting a higher vibration, higher caliber person here in general. I see music with this person. That to me signifies the engineer's mind. This is someone who understands how systems fit together. This person could understand how groups of people work together, but it could also be like mechanical. It could be because I'm seeing a musician or someone who's musically inclined. He may just love music, but this person is able to tap in more to their right side of the brain. So artistic, mediumistic, psychic, well-developed. And ultimately, I feel like this person is really trying with you to pull you in to have deeper conversations and reveal more about who you are and what you want. I think that one of the areas that you're also going to be working on is revealing more of your true and authentic self to reach deeper levels of intimacy. And this may be why you sometimes take a passive role, because then you never have to do that. So it's going to pull you a little bit, but I like it. I like it a lot. Christina?
Yeah, the cards, when I get to the cards that confirm what you just said, that's crazy. But I'm looking at cards. Do not go back with an X, Tamara. Tamara, no. There's no X here. There's somebody is going to like lurk around and want to get with you. That is no good. So no to that person. But yeah, like I feel like you need to go for somebody completely different than what you've gone for before. And you're going to love, Pluto's going to move out of your sign. It's going to give you like a little bit of a glimpse of what that's going to be like in 2024. So 2023, that'll happen. And then 2024, it'll move completely out of your sign. I think you're really going to like that energy and things will start to pick up. So as far as somebody coming in, definitely, I think it's going to be, I don't know, I kept getting Scorpio when you were talking about psychic and, all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe look at a Scorpio. Also, Ivy said psychic, right? Well, I pulled the 12th house, the psychic mediumship house, artistic people with higher mind, aware of their higher minds and are able to tap into spirit with music or, like whatever their, music, songwriting, writing raps, trying to think artistic, abilities. These are all spiritual things, all 12th house stuff. Also too interesting that you had said something about groups and stuff. And I had pulled Aquarius, which is all about groups, and also Aries too. So I would look at Aries, but what this is telling me is to be aggressive in a group. You know what I mean? Like you said, Bumble, whatever, you're going to take the reins, and you're going to decide in a group situation. I also, and I wanted to do the dice too for her. Tomorrow. It's coming for tomorrow. Okay, so maybe somebody. Let's see, maybe somebody. What is this, ninth house again? So okay, we're back to the groups again. So and maybe somebody too a little bit different than you, because ninth house would be like either somebody like far away or like a foreign person, maybe not your skin color, not your race, whatever it is, but kind of keep yourself open. But it seems like the person that comes in is going to be somebody you have a connection with, like you talk to, like somebody you can really, I don't know, like you can really vibe with, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think he's going to be more of like a caretaker too, because I'm getting like Cancer here, which is also another psychic sign. So, like it is going to be somebody who's like a caretaker or, very nurturing as well.
Love it. Have fun. All right. Very exciting. We are going to move on to another one. What do we have coming up here next? We have from a Shauna. She asked a $10 question. She is a Gemini sun, a Taurus moon, a Cancer rising, wondering if anything is coming up, any kind of guidance. I'm currently not in a relationship. Okay, so Shauna, $10 question. Is anything coming up? What I'm getting is a heavy focus for the next 4 months going into the first 2 weeks of the 5th month out from now of you on work, you on your resources, you on money. And then all of a sudden it's like someone slid into your DMs or something. It's like you have somebody there and you may be looking at them and saying like, where did you come from? How did you even get in here right now? Like I'm busy with other things. This person seems to have been watching you for a bit. And I don't mean that in a creepy way. I think it's more energetic. I think that sometimes before we encounter someone we're supposed to encounter, meaning we have a contract or something significant to do together, it really shows up way ahead of time, whether it be through dreams or premonitions or even other people. They're coming closer and closer and closer into your vicinity. And then he's just there. And what are you going to say? I think you, I almost want to say with this, you don't have a choice but to engage. And this person looks absolutely adorable, is really colorful, funny, talkative, entertaining, but not like trying to be. He's not trying to be Mr. Comedian. He just is. And there's a lot of intellectual stimulation between the two of you where you may jump from topic to topic, conversation to conversation, and possibly even like cut each other off or, and then revisit it, or like be talking about 3 different things at once. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So you could be dealing, I don't know, Christina can confirm or disconfirm this, but possibly like Gemini somewhere in the chart or Aries is somewhere in the chart. There is a really nice sense of stability here. Even with all of that, there is this great sense of you being able to count on this person, them being where they said they would be, maybe them not like going out and drinking a whole bunch or partying so much that you have to just kind of wonder, are they blacking out or are they up to some, I mean, they may not even know what they're up to in situations like that. This person feels very stable, very mature, clean, high vibration, and very focused on their own stuff, their own career, their resources, their work. And I think that's going to be a nice change for you because this isn't someone who needs to siphon off of you. And so you're sort of ending that cycle once and for all. Christina?
Yeah, I think that it does look like the person that comes in, and because there's definitely an opportunity. This is the Page of Cups, which signifies like a messenger. So that, that fish is saying, okay, there's an opportunity here for you, and it's probably a romantic opportunity. This one is saying, you kind of lost all your hope. Like you're kind of been, beat down, but you're getting back your hope. And this person, this opportunity is sort of helping you to get that back. There does feel like there is a connection to, like you said, talking, but it does seem like it takes a little while to get the talking to mesh, but yet like the feelings are there. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like it's awkward for a few, and then like all of a sudden like you guys like kind of get it, and then you fall into a rhythm. And she said she was Gemini sun. Okay, so Gemini sun, you're going to have Jupiter's going to move into your 11th very soon. So groups, meeting somebody in a group would be excellent, or online too. That is an online house, but that would bring you blessings. The cards I pulled for you, I did pull Aquarius. Again, we're back to groups. Maybe somebody unusual, somebody different than you've ever dated before. Aquarius is another air sign, so that might work. 8th house stuff. So, but I think that maybe like, you're working on deep psychological stuff. He might be working on deep psychological stuff that might kind of bring you together a bit. Make sure that you are taking care of your financial situation and not going to share that with anybody too soon or anything like that. Keep those boundaries up, keep doing all the work that you're doing, all the spiritual work that you're doing, because that is what's going to strengthen you. And then it's going to help you with the bond, and it will help you with the communication with the other person as well. I'll just roll the dice real quick and see what I get. Say Shauna. It's coming for Shauna. Yeah, 7th house. So Uranus is in your moon sign. So there are a lot of shakeups in the home, things like that. But this relationship that comes in feels more free. It feels not as tied down. It feels more like an adventure for you. All right.
Love it. All right. Enjoy. That one was deep.
It is deep. Yeah.
This one's out of all the ones we've answered, that one has some real significance and intensity to it. Very interesting. I love different relationship dynamics and contracts, right? It's so fascinating. All right, we have another one coming in here from a Lucy Marsh, and so she did the $5 question. So Christina, the short version. And Lucy says, I'm a Leo. I'm wondering about my friendship with Matt, who is a Scorpio. I suspect that it is just a game, and I'm falling into it, and that I may need to leave. Okay, let's take a look at Matt and whether we're going to kick his butt. All right. So, I do feel like he thinks he's very charming. I'm under the impression that he thinks he's smart, that he thinks he's funny, that he thinks that he could be sort of abrasive and have an attitude of rejection with you at different times, and he kind of wavers. It's very yin yang with him. Like, he knows how to charm you and sort of suck you in and show some affection and act like a human being, just long enough to get you to sort of re-engage, and then he goes right back over to sort of kicking you in the teeth or kicking you when you're down, and pulling away. I think that this person has some abusive tendencies. I think that if he doesn't pull his act together, he could actually look, quite dark in the next 10 years. Is not just in the way he handles others, but in his own deterioration. I would jump ship real quick if I were you. I think that this has come into your life to show you what it means to be exiting, ending a karmic cycle with a certain type of personality or low-level characters. And this is sort of a test for you to say, I'm done with this nonsense once and for all. The universe is testing you to make sure you didn't just learn your lesson, but you're actually going to walk it out to some higher ground. Christina?
Yeah, I don't like his actions. Like everything these two that I pulled are reversed. So usually when they're reversed, the person's actions are questionable. But this one was more concerning to me. I was just wondering if there was a third party involved, if there's another person and he's being not truthful to the both of you. What I did get with the dice, when I rolled the dice, Uranus, which is very, like in and out kind of energy. Like one day, he might surprise you and then the next day he's gone, like that type of thing. And then, I also get like an energy of, I don't know if there's gossiping or if there's like, talking to somebody else and talking to you but I'm getting like, this double, like there's somebody else involved and it's not great. So my advice would be, to step away from this, step out, dodge a bullet.
Very good. All right. So that's a hard pass on that one. All right. For those of you tuning in late, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, purchase your $5 or $10 question, and be sure to post it. All right. We are going to move on here to Eva Barrios, who bought a $10 question. And Eva says, I'm a Cancer moon, a Libra rising. Here is my ex, JR. Okay. Will my ex, JR, come back to me? Or am I destined to be with another? It's been months. He calls me, but stays silent like a stalker. And I don't know why. Okay. So do we have his name? Okay. JR. All right. Let me take a look at this. So we've got Eva and then we've got JR. I feel like this is another, why do we have like such an accumulation here? This is the third or fourth one tonight, right? Of games, just games. Some people don't have a lot going on in their life, as JR, does not. And they just don't because they're not working on themselves. So he has no goals, no ambitions, no real future trajectory of like prosperity or, he's going nowhere. I mean, I literally see a train at the station with the tires spinning, if they're called tires. I don't know, the train track, right? Like there's no traction. There's nothing happening here in his life. So what is he doing? He's picking people around him, people from his past, anyone else he could possibly rope in to try to siphon their energy, their time, their attention, their affection, their resources. I wouldn't give this guy a nickel. He is fully functioning from a place of dysfunction by siphoning from others around him. And he does not show any sign of wanting something different in the future. I think that for as long as you choose to engage with him, whether that be you answering his text or you sort of playing along or being like, why are you playing cat and mouse? Just showing that you care at all. As long as that goes on, he's going to continue to be around in that low level, low functioning way in your life. And that for him, meaning the attention that you give him, is really all he's looking for. So when we talk about narcissistic, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, when we talk about narcissistic techniques, you could Google it. There are like 12 to 15 different narcissistic tactics. One is called breadcrumbing. The other one is called hoovering. They're all sort of similar in that they try to pull you in by giving you a little bit of something, a little bit of attention or affection, or a little taste of what they should be giving you freely if only they were a bigger person, which he isn't. So I feel nothing of value here for you whatsoever. Christina?
Okay. I don't know. I was getting Scorpio there. I don't know why. But yeah, so like this is the first card I pulled. And that's him like hanging on to you, not being able to let go, but yet not really, wanting you either. Like, just not wanting you to have anybody else. And this just kind of bringing your vibe down. It's a cord that needs to be cut. That's what I think.
Scorpio. She just posted. He is a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So time to move on. Time to go. And also time to heal your wounds, because it's going to be a little bit before you can really trust anybody. but it does seem like there's something coming that does seem to be a lot better, but the cord has to be cut first. I really, really, really believe that, because you can't bring in, if you're even entertaining this possibility of him coming back. Yes, he'll come back. Sure. Sure. Why not? Why wouldn't he? But you know, you don't want that in your life. You want something better. So let's see what we can see what comes in. Okay. So yeah, let's see. So I'm seeing like somebody that you can really like talk to and have adventures with. Actually, you know, like this is like somebody who might even speak another language, or it might be somebody that you talk to on a daily basis. This feels more adventure-y, more somebody different than you coming in. Let me pull a couple cards too on that one. I have a couple minutes. Yeah, night, 6th house, and maybe somebody even at work or in your daily environment. And somebody who, you know what, and there's a lot of healing too. When you come into this new relationship with a new person, I think it's going to be more emotional and also healing for you. What did she say she was? Cancer, Libra rising.
Cancer moon, Libra rising.
Okay, so Libra rising. Okay, so Jupiter's going to move into your 7th house. There's definitely opportunity for a really good relationship. That's what this is right here. So, you know, I'm just looking right now at the Libra rising. So mathematically, that's going to be more accurate for you than your sun signs. So if you're a Libra rising, there's opportunities coming. So you want to cut this guy, and you want to do like a cord cutting ceremony so that he's gone, and that you don't, you know, mess up the future opportunities that are coming in. You can embrace them. You can heal from all that, you know, and definitely have a healthy relationship. That's what I'm getting.
So when you go up onto the website, so you can go to ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com, or you can go to ivyreverapsychicmedium.com, you're going to want to find a class called Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting, okay? And this goes for anyone who's tuning in here tonight who needs to get some clown out of their energy so that you can move on and attract a higher vibration. Because abuse is like gum on the bottom of your shoe. You know what I mean? That sort of trauma mentality and energy can stick around for a while. All that gaslighting and games. You don't want any of that junk in your energy. So relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class. It's 2 hours. It'll train you how to go through that whole process, get your energy cleaned up. Good luck going forward. All right. So I don't know if we have another question or if we are at time. It looks like maybe we're at time. I see a post that says we are at time. All right, very good. So, you guys, this was such a pleasure. Christina, thank you.
That was fun. Love it.
I love it. Yes. So again, Christina and I have been talking about doing this show for about a decade. We've done samples of it, but we haven't full blown come out and started doing it on a regular basis. We are now. This was the launch. It was great to have you guys here. We will be back doing another Get a Grip on Your Love Life and Relationship show. That will be Sunday, January 8th. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, back here on YouTube at Ask Ivy, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. If you want to book a chart, a synergy chart, a love chart, or any other kind of chart with Christina, where do they go, Christina?
My email, I think it's on there, cpekarsky88@gmail.com.
Okay, or you can find her on Instagram at astrologychick2, correct?
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right, message her there. If you want to book with me and we no longer have to do appointments, I could just send you a video of your reading because I don't actually need any contact with you at all. You can go to ivyreverapsychicmedium.com. Thank you so much to our producers. Thanks again, Christina. Have a great week,
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone.